I know if I'm eligible for alimony? That's the question that was asked us. It's a very good question. My name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan, and today we're going to continue our video series designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. Well, how do you know if you're eligible for alimony? Well, that's a very good question. Here's the answer. There are three basic factors that I think are relevant to the analysis of whether or not someone can get alimony, and then there are some sub-factors. But let me give you the three tests. Number one, duration of the marriage. How long has your marriage been? Let's look at a spectrum from 0 years to 30 years. The longer duration of the marriage, the more likely your case becomes an alimony case. That means the more likely that the discussion about alimony will take place in conjunction with your divorce. So if you're on that spectrum and you're 18 months in, not a very strong alimony case. 27 years in, very strong alimony case. Again, it doesn't mean you'll get alimony. There are other factors, but it does mean it'll be part of the discussion as you get further on that alimony spectrum. The second factor we like to look at is the disparity of income between the parties. Who makes more, who makes less? If there's a great disparity, again, looking at our spectrum, if there's a great disparity, more likely there'll be alimony. If a very small disparity, less likely. So let's say, for example, you have a 25-year marriage. So for the first item, it's a discussion, but the parties make the same amount of money. Parties make the same amount of money. That means there's no disparity of income, which means even though it's a 25-year marriage, it's not likely there'll be alimony in that case. The third element, the third thing I like to look at is there available money to pay it? Is there disposable income available once we start paying all the bills that the parties have racked up? Now, some couples, some marriages, they live very frugally. They don't really carry any debt as such. So in a marriage like that, well, let's say you got an 18-year marriage. The husband makes $150, the wife makes $45. In that situation, there's not a lot of debt, let's assume. In that situation, well, you've got a fairly long-term marriage, or at least an intermediate term, going on the longer side. There's a considerable disparity of income, almost $100,000. That's a case where the court will probably say, yes, there's going to be alimony. And what will the alimony try to do? The alimony will try to create a scenario where going forward, both have the same amount of money to live off of. I mean, that's essentially the purpose. So if let's say you've got a 20-year marriage, husband makes $100,000, wife makes $50,000, that's a $50,000 disparity. The court can very appropriately say that alimony in this case should be $25,000 a year. $25,000 a year means that the husband now, instead of having 100, he now lives on 75, and the wife, instead of 50, she now lives on 75. You see how we did that? Now everybody has the same amount of money going forward. So that's kind of the system for how it works. And if you're trying to figure out, am I eligible for alimony? Those are amongst the things that you might consider as potentially key factors in making that analysis. If you have any questions about your case, reach out. We'll be glad to help you out.